My dear students, welcome to online class 8th, chapter 5th, coal and petroleum. We use various materials for our basic needs. Some of them are found in nature and some have been made by human efforts. Now, since all these are obtained from nature, they are called natural resources like water, air, forest, solar energy, and wind. These are all natural resources. Inexhaustible natural resources. These resources are present in unlimited quantity in nature and are not likely be exhausted by human activities. Example are sunlight, air. Non-renewable resources are exhaustible natural resources. The amount of these resources in nature are limited. They can be exhausted by human activities. Some examples of these resources are forest, wildlife, mineral, coal, and petroleum. Coal. You may have seen coal or heard about it. It is hard as a stone and is black in color. Coal is one of the fossil fuels used to cook food. Earlier, it was used in railway engines to produce steam to run the engine. It is also used in thermal power plants to produce electricity. Coal is also used as a fuel in various industries. About 300 million years ago, the earth and dense forest in low-lying wetlands areas due to natural process like flooding, this forest got buried under the soil. Under high pressure and temperature, dead plants got slowly converted to coal, as coal contains mainly carbon. The slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. Coal is also called a fossil fuel. The other products of coals are coke. It is a tough, porous and black substance. It is an almost pure form of carbon. Coke is used in the manufacture of steel. Another product is coal tar. It is black, thick liquid with unpleasant smell. It is a mixture of about 200 substances obtained from coal tar. It is used for making dyes, drugs, explosives, perfuming, plastics, paints, photographic materials, roofing materials. Interesting, naphthalene balls used to repel insects and other insects are also obtained from coal tar. Petroleum. You know that petrol is used as fuel in light automobiles such as motorcycles, scooters, and cars. Heavy motor vehicles like trucks and tractors run on diesel. Petroleum is the combination of petrol, diesel, kerosene, and fuel oil. Petro means rock, oleum means oil. It is mined from between the rocks under earth as shown in this figure. Majority the petroleum we get from the sea and got covered with layers of sand and clay. Petroleum was formed from organisms living in the sea. Over millennia of years, absence of air, high temperature and high pressure transformed the dead organisms into petroleum and natural gas. Refining of petroleum. Petroleum is dark oily liquid. It has unpleasant odor. It is mixed of various constituents such as petroleum, gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, etc. The process of separating the various constituents, fractions of petroleum, is known as refining. It is carried out in a petroleum refining. Natural gas is very important fossil fuel because it is easy to transport through pipes. Natural gas is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas known as CNG. CNG is used for power generation. It is now being used as fuel for transport vehicles. Now, burning of these fuels is a major cause of air pollution. Their use is also linked to global warming. It is therefore necessary that we use these fuels only when absolutely necessary. This will result in better environment, small risk of global warming and their availability for a longer period. PCRA, Petrol Conservation Research Association, advises people how to save petrol, diesel while driving. Drive at a constant and moderate speed as far as possible. Switch off the engine and traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait. Ensure correct tire pressure. Ensure regular maintenance of the vehicles. Best 10 slogans on conservation of natural resources. You can see in this chart. Reduce, reuse, recycle, conserve paper, save the planet. Tree planting is the most reliable solution to pollution. Save the earth, save our environment. Don't be cruel. Preservative your fuel. Earth is the only habitat planet. Save it. I hope you understood this chapter, coal and petroleum. My dear students, take down home assignment. And now I am going to show some videos how the coal is formed and petroleum is formed. Thanking of you. We will meet in the next session.
Where do we get coal from? Millions of years ago, the earth used to be covered by trees and plants. These plants died in swamps around river banks and got covered with soil and mud. As the years passed, the weight of the ground along with the earth's heat converted these dead plants into coal. To extract coal, it needs to be dug out. Coal is usually found in layers or seams underground. As plants die, they sink into swamps and get decomposed into peat. Ground heat and pressure remove hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen from it to leave mostly carbon. This is what we know as coal. Coal is classified by its carbon content. The greater the carbon content, the more heat it gives off when burnt. Use coal to draw. Break a piece of coal that you can use like a pen for drawing. Try burning different types of coal and see which one burns the quickest and which one the slowest.
formation of petroleum. Let us study the formation of petroleum. Petroleum was formed from organisms living in the sea. It was formed by a complex process. As these organisms died, their bodies settled at the bottom of the sea, and got covered with layers of sand and clay. Over millions of years, absence of air, high temperature, and high pressure transformed the dead organism into petroleum and natural gas. Petroleum layer is formed above the underground water layer, as it is lighter than water. Petroleum is a non-renewable resource, and is used on a very large scale. The world's first oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania, USA, in 1859. About 8 years later, that is, in 1867, oil was found at Mukum, in Assam. In India, oil is also found in Gujarat, Mumbai, and in the basins off Godavari and Krishna.